The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the therapy session for the homies. Well, that's what we like to call it.
Join us each week for a candid conversation discussing spirituality, sexuality, holistic views,
and most importantly, how to stay away from the negative-ish.
While we sit back, unwind, and unlock
on the Sip and Sage podcast. Hey.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to another therapy session. Oh, wait. Welcome to the...
You sound like somebody else.
Yo. Take two.
All right.
Welcome to another therapy session for the homies.
On the Sip and Sage podcast. I don't know if I was taking it. I'm like, is it my turn? Double dutch.
This is your girl, Ray.
And I'm your homegirl, Des.
And welcome to, like I just stated, and let me say it again, another therapy session for the homies. Here at the one and only Morris Media Studios. Yes. Another week.
How you feeling? Updates, check-ins.
So, I'm feeling great. Oh, you get on my nerves. Why you gotta look at me like that?
I look like the mama that meme would say when your mama watching you open your presents on Christmas.
Yes, you just went like, okay.
I'm just here for you to vent about your week, sis.
I had a really pleasant weekend. She just want me to spill all the
V-Day?
Yes, I had a very, very nice Valentine's Day weekend.
And you was just talking all that shit on the last episode. Oh my goodness.
You couldn't wait to do that, could you?
I couldn't. I'm like, she gonna come on smiling. I was like, wait a minute. You was just going ham last week. Now this week you all butterflies and hearts and Cupid. Stuck on stupid.
Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. But I did have a good weekend. My weekend was really, really good. I got into a fender bender though.
Oh, how was that? Was it your fault?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
For the first time, it was not my fault.
That's
Anybody know me? It was. I didn't do it.
That's all that matters. This time.
This time. Because the other one.
The other 8 times.
Yeah, that was definitely my bad. Those are my bad to all the people I done hit. My bad. But this one, I don't feel bad for because it wasn't my fault.
Did I do
I was
that?
reversing.
It ain't my fault. Did I do that?
See, at least you got a song for this.
It ain't my fault. Did I do that? But that's cool. That's what's up.
That's good. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was chill, you know. I've been binge watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Okay.
So I just spent my weekend doing that. Got me some bomb food and spent it by myself. I wasn't tripping. But other than that, this week has been a good one for me. Just still taking it a day at a time, welcoming the opportunities. I'm just trying to figure out which direction I want to go to get to where I need to be. Right. You feel me? So that's all I've been doing. And preparing for the battle to get these tickets to Lovers and Friends Fest tomorrow because I am not missing out on that festival. So
that seems lit. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta go.
But
gotta go.
Also this week, as I've been just taking it day by day, I've been like really tapping in with social media. I haven't been tapping in as much, but someone told me to tap in, and I know the whole Dwayne Wade thing with his now daughter, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And all the comments and some of the praise and the backlash that he's getting for taking that step to, you know, welcoming or embracing his son's, what is it, gender choice or whatever. But I also seen some backlash coming from Lil Boosie, Boosie. And from his rant, it comes from it reminds me of like an old school black household perspective. And it just made me think about how I seen a post that people said we praised Dwayne Wade, majority praise him for, you know, embracing his son's choice to change his gender, but yet we gave T.I. so much backlash for protecting his daughter's virginity, and we touched bases on this. Some people
that's actually agrees. I don't. That just think okay, but T.I. is. I not feel like T.I. should. I mean, Corey protect virginity. I'm real able to take her to launch. So I don't like it's very good to have out with her. Why are you bar your T.I.?
Okay. You get it. On household and different.
Come on, I'm okay. No, I'm different. I just feel like how you parent, how you raise your child is how you raise your child. Nobody teaches your child but you. I mean, when it comes to being parents, no rules. I'm like doing how parents try either. I mean that's not a. I mean just it's a lot. Like there's the whole thing away. I mean, he didn't say anything. First of all, Lil Boosie, he ain't say nothing about cutting that little boy
genitals.
Yes, he didn't say nothing about that. Dwayne Wade is just saying he is embracing that his child. Hitting the mic. He is just explaining that he accepts his child as using the pronouns of she and her, and becoming and wanting to feel like a feminine woman.
I thought you was going to say becoming a woman. I was going to say, whoa there.
No. I
was like,
the internet will chew me.
Yeah. No. But it kind of made me think about what really black households,
right,
and our experiences with them and how we grew up in them, and ultimately if it makes you or break you, because black households is, man,
they're very interesting.
What kind of household did you grow up in?
I grew up in a I would say a sometime single household, sometime 2-parent household, because my mama and my daddy. Well, I knew my mama was mad at my daddy when I wouldn't see him for like a while. Mm-hmm. Then he back on the weekend. Then he there a little longer. Mm-hmm. Then they get into an argument. Then he gone again. Mm-hmm. It was just a whole cycle. Mm-hmm. As far as how I grew up, you know, I feel like I grew up pretty good. The only thing about my household that I had an issue with is just me and my brother, for example. Like growing up, it was like he was always, I feel like, as women, we sissify our sons. Oof. I'ma just say that. Mothers, black women too. I don't know about other races. We talking about black households. We talking about black people today. Yeah. We sissify the boys and be hard on the girls.
Yeah.
You know how many guy friends I had? Like, oh, my mama did everything for me. Then I don't understand that. I don't understand that concept. I don't understand why it's definitely not the opposite. I don't.
Yeah, it's like the mama's boy, like type thing. But same thing, kind of like some people be like super daddy's girls, like where they could get anything they want, where it's ultimately their world and their daddy just living in it, and it's vice versa for some people's mothers in regards to relationships with their sons.
That's very true. As far as the relationship with I have my dad, like. When, you know, when me and my dad was good, when we was rocking, I was daddy's girl. You know, when he was feeling cool, he would give me, you know, we had that relationship, but it wasn't as often as I wanted it to be. Like, I wish it was more in our relationship that we had in our household growing up. Another thing about black households and a specific household that I'm living in now as an adult. This is, okay, we talked about, well, first of all, let's touch bases on your childhood and your household and how you grew up.
I grew up, my home life was very interesting.
Cause you had more siblings.
Yeah, I had more siblings, and I grew up in a 2-parent home. But it wasn't always like the Huxtables. We weren't always the Brady Bunch. Like, yeah, my parents provided for me, and you know, don't get me wrong, I'm more than grateful for my upbringing. But just certain things that transpired in situations regarding my parents' relationship, right. I feel like it's affected me and my siblings in a lot of different ways. Like, and it kind of puts into perspective for me the reasoning why some of us are stuck in certain cycles. And the partners we choose and the situations that we get ourselves in are so reminiscent
I
of
agree.
My parents' relationship. And that's a cycle that I'm trying to break. Don't get me wrong. I love my parents, like, and what they go through is what they go through. You know, everything ain't always peaches and herbs, you know, but for me, it's just a cycle that I'm trying to break, because I notice certain similarities that are in certain partners that I choose that are very reminiscent. Oh, even certain situations and situationships that I get into remind me so much of my parents. And I told myself that's not something that I want in a partner. That's not something that I am going to accept. Right. I'm working my ass off to break that. As far as my siblings' relationships, it's typical siblings. We love each other, but we've had those moments where, it's like, hey, I'm not messing with you right now. And at times I do wish it was closer, but I feel like ultimately, because of certain things that transpired in my family relationship and the whole family dynamic, me and my siblings and my parents included have to separately heal before we could come together and heal as a family. Like, we have our own issues, deep-rooted issues. Some of my mom's issues is deep-rooted from when she was a child that she's still holding on to. That's vice versa with my father. Right. So I feel like we all just have to conquer our demons and heal ourselves in order for us to really come together and be one as a unit.
Right. I agree. The household I'm living in now, so it's a I feel like that SpongeBob meme when I talk about staying with my grandmother. It's just like I love my granny, I adore my granny. But here's the problem that I have with not just my granny's household, but just Black households in general, because I always hear this when I talks among people my age and, people that's in the same similarities and situations with me, is our parents charging us to stay there. Now,
rent?
Yes.
Okay, let's get into it, because I want to hear your thoughts on this.
This is my thoughts. I personally, when I have children, when I decide to bring in my loving, beautiful Black family that I'm going to have one day with all my little kids, and if they stay with me, I want to be able to provide for my children to where if my children is 18, like myself, 18, 19, 20, 21, my age now, 26.
I was going to say, girl, like yourself, 18, 19, man, where?
I'm 26, I'm just saying,
Oh, you was getting to 26.
Yes, I'm getting to 26, but I'm saying from the beginning time of 18, right, after high school, right? Okay. I'm saying I personally feel I want to be able to provide for my kids to where they don't have to do that.
Okay.
Like, I don't feel like my child should give me money to stay in my house.
I get you.
I don't think that should be a thing. Like, I feel like only Black people do that.
No, I don't think it's a Black thing. I really don't think that. Sorry to cut you off. It's okay. Because I disagree with the statement in whole, because the only reason why is because I look at it as, sometimes I look at it as putting your shoes on the other foot, What if your parents aren't financially in the right place to be able to provide for you past 18, We don't know, a lot of the times as children, we don't know what parents struggle behind doors with. We don't know what they go through. So, of course, they don't want to show it to us because we're kids. We shouldn't have to worry about rent and things like that at that time. But then I feel like once we turn a certain age and our parents kind of, it's kind of like they still hold on. It's like, how can I be able to afford for myself and another grown adult? Now, I've taught you all I can. Now, what I don't agree with is parents like charging you if they have it. That's kind of like, me personally, I would teach my kids some type of responsibility. I would charge them some type of rent just to be able to, get them on their feet with as far as responsibilities and learning how to pay things on time and being financially free and how to save and, things like that. But as far as Black households, I don't think it's a Black household, because you see how Hispanics, they live in, I've seen Hispanics like live in households on blocks that I've grew up in, and they live in a house and eventually everybody just moves out, because think about it, if everybody's contributing to the rent, you'd be able to save more. Think of the break that you're giving your parent. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And also, like my mom explained, because I had a sibling who had got upset one time about the thought of paying rent, you going to pay them, the landlord, when you move out. you're not gonna be able to say when you feel like it, when you don't want to pay, what day you gotta pay it from the first through the third. After that, it's a late fee.
Right.
So why not get in that good habit of practicing how to, pay bills and be responsible?
Okay, that's absolutely true. And I do agree with that, because I heard something from somebody who's older who was telling me about their kid. Like, their kid said, Mom, I want to move out. Mm-hmm. Like, they went to their mom and was like, Mom, I want to move out. Like, I need to get out on my own.
Yeah.
So, in her daughter at the time, she wasn't paying any rent. So, the mom was like, okay, now you got to pay me rent. So, the daughter paid the mother rent, whatever the amount was. And then when she found a place and was ready to move out, her mom gave her all that money back.
See?
So she could be able to move out. Now, that's one thing, okay. But I just feel like how you said, when parents do have it and they are charging, like, that's the problem that I got.
Yeah.
Because that's some type of things that I've experienced in the past, in my life. So
I get you.
It's just like, if I know, come on. Like, I got to look for.
I get you. It's all
some
about
households like that.
It's all about setting your child up for financial freedom, financial independence, and that's why I feel like we lack as a community in whole. A lot of us aren't properly educated when it comes to financial freedom and financial literacy. True. So it's kind of a generational cycle of generational lack of wealth. We don't attain assets. We just buy things that depreciate in value over time, and we're left with nothing. Man. So I see this new wave, like us, although we're childbearing women, we don't have children, but people around us have children. I've noticed a different wave of breaking generational curses and wanting more for the Black household and leaving a legacy and it's not, when you say legacy, most people think, oh, I'm trying to get famous or I'm trying to do this. No, it's just leaving assets and leaving something
for the child, so they can be able to keep that and pass it on.
Exactly.
Like, because when I decide to have a child, I'm going to start preparing to look into that property, houses, just all different types of stuff. Trust funds.
For sure.
Something to where my child, when something happens to me, my child will be okay.
Exactly.
I know when I'm leaving this earth, my child will be okay. And one thing about Black households, like, our whoopings too. Let's just have them.
The whoopings.
The whoopings. I gotta just hit this for the second. We have a bad thing as Black people, because I don't know if this happens in any other household, but when your parent is mad and they want to give you that whooping, they'll use anything in their way to do it.
I think that era is over.
It is, but I'm just...
Oh, for you, your experience?
No, I know it's still parents like that.
I grab anything? Where's CPS when you need them? I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes a good ass whooping is always needed, depending on, if your child, if it's necessary. Now, sometimes these kids be getting whoopings unnecessarily. That I do not agree with. But as far as the discipline era, I feel like we lacking that as millennials. We not whooping enough ass.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I was at my beautician's house today, and someone called her, and their child was in the background, and she was like, why they not at school? And the person said, oh, she didn't feel like going to school today. And she was like, oh, you let your child decide when and they want to go to school and when they don't? And he was like, something like that. Well, I'll be damned. My mom used to drag me out of bed.
No, my mom used to bust in on the bathroom because I used to try to be slick. Because I'm not a morning person. I don't like to wake up if anyone knows me. And that's been my way my entire life. So I was getting ready for school real quick. She was like, go in the bathroom, get ready to start brushing your teeth. Do you know I went to sleep in the bathroom and took the rug and put it over my body.
I'm not about to play with you. Oh my God.
Was not playing. Yo, I got my ass whooped and I had to go to school.
I bet you. Sore ass and all. Still stinging in class. Okay, despite the ass whoopings, do you feel like growing up in your household, did it make you or did it break you?
I think it made me, and because I appreciate every ass whooping, every slap now. I appreciate the way my mother raised me. Because at first, my mom, sometimes I'd be like, okay, she was a little too hard. Yeah. But for the most part,
it was justified.
Yeah, it was. Okay. It made me, because if she didn't, like, if my mother didn't raise me the way that she was supposed to, like, I wouldn't be the person that I am now. So I'm just glad my mom raised me with enough sense. She needed some patience, because it took me a minute to catch on to certain things. But once I caught it and grasped it and understood it, yeah, my mom I feel like she did a great job with me.
That's what's up.
How about you?
I feel like my household made me. It taught me certain lessons. It showed me things that I do want and don't want in my life. It's helped shape my mentality and just overall how I treat people. That's one thing I can say. My parents taught me, the act of kindness and humbleness and humility and compassion. Sometimes I sit back and think, because I'm so grateful for the household that has made me, because some people's households break them. Yeah. And it's an unfortunate scenario that we often see too many times, where people's families ultimately don't want to see them win or don't uplift them to the, standard that they need to be uplifted to.
I agree.
And it's sad. It makes me sad, because I feel like as a community, just humanity, period. That's not even a black thing, a white thing, just humanity, period. You have to uplift one another, like, as
a whole, as a unit. I definitely agree. We do. We have to spread more love. Yes. And it needs to start, like, in our households first. That's exactly that's how, number one, that's how I feel like our households as black people can be better, if we show a little bit more love to one another. Because I feel like, I'm not saying it lacks it, but I feel like in certain areas in the household, it lacks love. Like, I don't know if you're in household, but in my household, my mother she was affectionate to us, but when it came to being empathetic towards certain situations, or me as a child trying to explain how I'm feeling, and they're telling me I'm not supposed to feel that way.
That's a big thing. Me. That's a big thing. Listen to your children. I feel like that's what we need to break generational curses. Like, learn to listen to your child sometimes. Learn to apologize. Learn to give them an open platform to be expressive to you, because I feel like in my household, that's where I feel like it lacked the platform for me to be able to be expressive. And I feel like that's why as I got older, I just didn't have no regards to just being able to express myself in the manner that I did, because I was restrained so much as a child. And once I got an adult, I'm like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and that's it. Like, I don't want no pushback. I'm not going to give you no pushback. That's it. That's all. I'm just speaking my piece. Right. And so I definitely feel like black households could be better with that. But I feel like it also goes back to generational curses. And what I was saying earlier, how in order for you to heal as a family, you have to heal yourself and heal certain things that you went through as a child, letting go of certain things that transpired in your life. Do not take it out on your children or even your spouses. Like, it has to be one in unison.
I agree. Yeah. That I definitely agree. I feel like our black households can be better by, honestly and truthfully, communication.
Yeah, I feel
like communication. Talk, people.
For sure.
My whole thing is, don't let little things build up and then, because that's how it was in my household. Like, when we was just fed up, it was just a big kamikaze bomb going on, and it's because we never communicated what led up to the explosion that occurred. So, communicating with your family and communicating with the people that's in your household, I feel like that would make the household structure become better, the household as one become better, because communication is key, and that's something that I'm learning to this day. I'm still learning how to effectively communicate, because in certain relationships, my household, it was very hard for me to communicate certain things because I was always shut down as well. So I feel like communication is something that you gotta work on, man. Yeah. Just communicating with your family and household, and I also feel like spending more quality time.
Quality time is definitely necessary.
In my household, we didn't have, like, dinners.
Me either. Everybody grabbed their place. Really? Somebody went there. Somebody went over there.
Yeah, we dispersed. Like
the kids, like, as a kid, we sat at the table. But once we got a little older.
Yeah, that's how it was for me, too. Like, as kids, we sat at the table and we ate our food. But it was never like, okay. My mom never said, okay.
Dinner time. Yeah. How's your day? Well, how's school?
I need to do that with my kids.
That's something that I want to implement.
I want to do that with my kids. Like, have a whole dinner with them because I never did that as a kid.
That's one thing that I think about when it comes to traditional Black households and different things, just implementing like Sunday dinners and stuff. Like, my mom cooks Sunday dinners, but we don't all eat together.
At
like,
the table.
like just different things, different family traditions that are practiced even when we're older, so it can be passed down to children and children and children of our offspring.
Yeah, I do feel like us as a generation coming up, the ones who have kids and the ones who are thinking about bringing kids into this world, like myself, I do feel like it's time for us to, set the foundation of restructuring how a home is supposed to be.
Revamp, restructure,
renew. I definitely agree.
Like, it will bring on more unison within the community, because it's going to start in the household. And once you teach love in the household, it's just going to spread and ooze out into the world. And everybody's going to feel love.
Oh, you like to be loved? I see. She likes to be loved, ladies and gentlemen.
I just love. Like, just spread it. Feel it.
Yes, we got to spread love, feel love, and want love, and it starts with our households first.
Definitely.
And once we started with ourselves and our households, we could be able to spread it freely. Yeah. Yep. And that ends this week's episode of the Sip and Sage podcast. Yes, be sure to follow me, your girl Raylene Inez with 2 Z's, on the Instagram. Destiny, go ahead and tell them where they can find you.
Y'all already know where y'all can follow me. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Miss Destiny Denise. That's all
right. And make sure you follow us on Sip and Sage Podcast as well.
Yes, sir. Like this. Drop a comment. Share it. Subscribe. Do all that.
Listen to us, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.